Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Telugu Ratham Language, Literature and Cultural Development Organization, established in 2008 from 24th October 19 2008, with a aim and objective of encouraging the fields of language, literature, culture, fine arts, social development, and also spiritual and devotional aspects, and folklore particularly. Seven aspects, because our organization is Radham, Saptasvasuri Radham. So we thought like seven wheels for Surya Radha. We have also thought through seven sectors we can serve the society with unquestionable and unanswerable manner. Purely a voluntary and service oriented approach. Except service, no other giving and taking. That at least financial aspects. So we have also started one non-government organization on very voluntary basis without any financial obligations either giving or taking. It is Suphala Foundation, Suphala-BHARATHI in Telugu we call it. So in both the languages, this organization takes care. In addition to our parent organization, that is Telugu Radha, the through that we are serving for the past 16 years. So in India, there are so many personalities under various sectors and disciplines who have shown their path and served the society in their own way. So we thought that all those personalities, luminaries in Telugu we call Chirsmaraniyulu, a mini introduction about that personality, who influenced and who was influenced, both the aspects and the service and commitments made by the particular sector and that particular personality in India and influenced abroad also. We thought that a mini introductions on these profiles of luminaries in various sectors, both Telugu as well as in English. Who belongs to Telugu states, we will propose to introduce them in Telugu, and the national and international personalities and categorized as spiritual leaders, social reforms and cooperators, patriots and freedom fighters, administrators and intellectuals, Bharat Ratnas, particularly Nobel laureates, and historical figures. So, all put together, we thought to introduce them either on the birthday anniversary or death anniversary, whichever comes first. In case, for whatever reasons, we miss the first occasion, definitely the second will take care of it. However, in the month in which either they are born or they are dead, we thought utilize that opportunity invariably within the month. So now this is April, being the birthday in Sanskrit and Telugu we call Jayanti of the great personality who designed our Indian Constitution soon after declaration of independence. He was the chief person heading the Constitution Committee with so many groups and committees. He is none other than Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Today is birthday is there. So we will try to introduce him uh, in English. 1 minute. B.R. Ambedkar, popularly known as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So, with all your permissions, I will try to introduce the great personality. We welcome SUPHALA-BHARATHI welcomes to this info knowledge series covering the bygone era of and still influenced even in the contemporary age. Luminaries in Telugu we call Chirasmaraniyulu. The I will just introduce about them. Then we'll go. I will go to Ambedkar's personality. Yes, as I told, luminaries, a gallery of mini portraits of eminent women, men who shone in their own chosen field of activity and served the country in such a way that they are remembered forever. Each life is with the basics and essentials of each one's life and contribution benefited by knowing about the outstanding service of each of the celebrities. The lives of these leading lights and worthy persons are providentially designed for the good that needs assistance, for the evil that needs resistance, and the goal at the distance. For some of these luminaries and many others, there is no death in India. I bring a quote by Robert Grave as under: to bring the dead to life is no great magic. Few are wholly dead. Blow on the dead man's embers, and a life flame will start, as quoted by Robert Grave. So, under this luminaries, particularly the English version, spiritual leaders, social reformers, cooperators, patriots, freedom fighters, administrators, intellectuals, Bharat Ratnas, Nobel laureates, and historical figures. So, with this small introduction about luminaries, as well as our in so now a, a day which we cannot forget, that is Ambedkar's birthday. Let me take permission from the august audience and also from this group about Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The astonishing journey made by a person belonging to the lowest class, reaching the highest pinnacle of glory, facing humiliation in the society, which was noted for poverty and untouchability, is a unique chapter in the history of India. He fought his way to the end and won victory. Though born low in a hostile environment, he grew into a great person, surprising the world, and launched a long lasting fight, emancipating his commitment and community from the clutches of untouchability and stood as the beacon to the oppressed classes. That person is none other than Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Yes. On 14th April, that is this day, in 1891, Bhimarao was born to Ambavadekar, Ramji, Shakpal, and Bhimabai as their 14th child in the village Ambavada, situated in Ratnagiri district of Maharashtra. His name was entered in the school register as Ambavadekar. Though everyone in the school scoffed at him, one of his teachers treated him with love and affection. Bhimarao made the surname of the teacher as his name in gratitude and called himself Ambavadekar Ambedkar, a good gesture. That teacher taught Ambedkar English, mathematics, and Marathi. Ambedkar was subjected to great humiliation in the school. The other children in the school never touched him because he was an untouchable. The teachers also dropped the notebooks into his hands. Ambedkar's mother passed away when he was very young. His father married another woman. Ambedkar was subjected to mental worry when another woman occupied his mother's place. He lost interest in studies. He never stayed at home. He used to carry the luggage of passengers like a porter in the Satara railway station of Maharashtra. He planned to leave his house and go to Bombay, but he had no money to meet the railway fare. He attempted to pilfer money from the purse of his stepmother, but he found only half an anna in it during those days. He felt remorse for what he did. He bent his head in shame at his action. I came to a decision that night. The decision changed the very course of my life, he wrote. As he wrote, the course of his life did change very much. Ambedkar completed his matriculation in the high school, being scoffed frequently with expressions like, "What is the use of education for you? Go, go and be a cattle herd." That was the first time that a boy of the oppressed classes did his matriculation. A meeting was held in his honor then to congratulate him. The famous writer K.A. Kalswakar presented Ambedkar with the book The Life Story of Gautama Buddha, written by him. It was Kaluskar who helped Ambedkar pursue higher studies by arranging scholarship by the Maharaja of Baroda. Ambedkar took his BA degree in 1912 when he was torn between abject poverty and his deep desire to study further. He accepted the job of lieutenant in the court of Maharaja of Baroda. He worked there for only 2 weeks. He went home as his father was seriously ill. His father passed away and Ambedkar did not go back to Baroda. In 1913, Ambedkar got an opportunity to pursue higher studies in Columbia University. He applied for a scholarship to the Maharaja of Baroda. A condition was laid by the Maharaja that after his return from America, he should work in the court of Maharaja for 10 years. Ambedkar left for America. It was a new world. There was no untouchability as in India, where he was born and bred. It was a society that had no restrictions of any kind as in India. He was a free bird there. He realized that because his father gave him education, undergoing many difficulties, he was able to study abroad. The conditions in America, the atmosphere, and the mode of study shaped the unique individuality of Ambedkar. He came to the decision that he should change the condition in his motherland to enable the parents of poor children to make their children pursue education. He completed his MA course in 1915 when he was 24 years old. He published his book Trade in Ancient India and Castes in India and Their Genesis and Growth, which were his his thesis and project papers. The books were well received and appreciated. In 1916, he joined the London School of Economics and Politics for his PhD, but as his scholarship ended, he went back to Bombay. In 1918, the first convention of All India Dalits was held in Bombay. The Maharaja of Baroda presided over the convention. Bipin Chandra Pal, who is popularly known as BC Pal, of that Pal trio, Vittal Bhai Patel, the brother of Sardar Vallabhai Patel, and Balagangadhar Tilak took part in the convention. A manifesto was framed for the rights of the Dalits. The two books written by Ambedkar, The Caste System in India and Small Holdings in India, were appreciated by all. Ambedkar commenced his fight for the rights of Dalits even from 1918 itself. On the 30th January 1920, he published his newspaper Moonk Nayak to fight for the emancipation of the Dalits. He secured a job in the Sydenham College as a professor of political science. In the beginning, the students did not respect him because he was untouchable, but with his deep knowledge of the subject and his clear analysis of the economic and political condition of people, he was able to teach any tough part of the syllabus in an easy and lucid manner and converted the hostile students into his friends. Though he was a great success as a professor, he could not get rid of the shadow of his caste. His colleagues did not allow him to drink water from the jar in the staff room. While continuing his legal profession, he took up the task of enlightening the people of his caste. He went around towns and villages, exhorting that each person should improve his lot himself. Each person should fight for his rights and secure them. He established an institution called Bahishkruta Hitakarini Sabha. As a lawyer, he worked relentlessly for justice to the Dalits. During his time, he ran a newspaper called Bahishkruta Bharat in Marathi. He continued his movement to allow Dalits into the temple situated in Thakur Dwara area. The Bidar tank episode filled the Dalits with enthusiastic reaction. At the Dalit convention held in Mehad, 15,000 Dalits took part in the proceedings. At that convention, they recognized two flames Manusmriti, which had described them as untouchables. Ambedkar later joined as a professor in Bombay Law College. In 1930 November, Ambedkar received the invitation to attend the first Roundtable Conference in London. He took the invitation as a good opportunity to expose to the world the sufferings and the untold misery experienced by the Dalits in India and went to London. At this time, the Bombay High Court gave its judgment, striking down the resolution passed by the Legislative Assembly and said that Dalits had a right to drink water from the Bedar tank. Ambedkar was nominated as a member of Vidhan Parishad. At the end of the series of the roundtable conferences, Ambedkar grew into the undisputed leader of the Dalits, representing their aspirations. The Dalits entertained the rights denied to them from times immemorial because of him. In August 1936, Ambedkar established the Indian Labour Party. His party contested in Bombay Assembly elections and won with a thumping majority, 15 seats out of the 17 the party contested. Ambedkar took active part in problems and affairs of the in the national context before and after independence. India won independence on 15th August 1947. The need arose to draft a constitution for the country, as told by me in the introduction. At that time, Ambedkar was the law minister at the center and was the president of the subcommittee formed to draft the constitution. He was also a member of the constitutional committee, for which Rajendra Prasad was the president. On 29th April 1947, the Constitutional Committee passed a resolution prohibiting untouchability in any form. This clause was included in the Constitution also. Ambedkar studied deeply the constitutions of other countries. He prepared the Constitution by taking into consideration of different tribes, religions, culture, and other such factors of the vast country that is India. Ambedkar has been called the modern Manu. In the Hindu Civil Code, part of the constitution, the sections on divorce marriage came under severe criticism, and finally the government removed that passage. Ambedkar took to heart the action of the governments and resigned his post of law minister on 27th September 1951. Now the final. As a Hindu, he was subjected to great humiliation many times. To quote him, unfortunately, I was born an untouchable among Hindus. I could not demolish untouchability, but I promise that I would not die as a Hindu. On 24th May 1956, on Buddha Jayanti day, Ambedkar announced that he was going to embrace Buddhism, and on 14th October, he became a Buddhist. He passed away on 6th December the same year. The government of India announced the great honor of the country by awarding Bharat Ratna to Ambedkar posthumously in 1990. This was a small introduction given by me by culling out from the book Luminaries by P.V. Brahmam, who was in charge of P.V. Brahmam Charitable and Welfare Trust. He was a general manager in Andhra Pradesh State Cooperative Bank, the integrated state. So after retirement, he was running a cooperative journal in Telugu called Sahakara Sarathi, and each every month, one article on these luminaries used to be published in Telugu actually. Afterwards, it got translated into English also by titling Luminaries. In Telugu, it is put as Luminaries, sorry, Chirsmaraniyulu, and long remembered gentlemen, towers of the personality. So this is the in English version. Some more national personalities were introduced when compared to Telugu, which was the first edition, and probably all the editorials given every month. These essays have been covered, and some more were added in the English version, keeping in view their area of operation. That is, I told you the categories: spiritual leaders, social reformers and cooperators, patriots and freedom fighters, administrators and intellectuals, Bharat Ratnas, many are there, 38 Bharat Ratnas, noble laureates, historical figures, noble laureates who got from India and except Nelson Mandela. So historical figures like Ashoka, Krishna Devaraya, Chhatrapati Shivaji, Jhansi Lakshmi Bai. So this essays are useful to the current and the future generation. So Suphala Foundation decided to bring these sum ups portraitical essays of luminaries and Cherismaranelu as an info knowledge series useful not only to the present generation in various capacities and various professions and occupations, and also particularly to the future uh, India and the world. So with this, I thank myself for the opportunity given to me by Telugu Ratham organization. Of course, though I am a president to it, but the Supala India Foundation, for which I am the chief coordinator, we decided to highlight these personalities, and through the SES penned by PV Brahmam Garu when he was in active service, and he retired as uh, chief general manager of Andhra Pradesh State Cooperative Bank. He was also a long continuous office bearer to the Andhra Cooperative Employees Union, as well as he was also a member in the committee of the All India Cooperative Bank Employees and Officers. So, with this, we will be presenting the a brief portraitical presentations in both English and also in Telugu. All local personalities will be introduced in Telugu, and the national as well as international personalities will be introduced by me in English. I thank you very much, and I also thank Mr. Brahmam Garu, PV Brahmam Charitable and Welfare Trust, who authored these two wonderful books, Chirasmaranilu as well as Luminaries. I hope I got the consent to re bring these focused essays on various eminent personalities of luminaries and Chelsea. I thank you very much once again. If in the pamphlet also my number is there, Kompella Bala Subramanya Sharma phone number is there. If any suggestions to incorporate in further presentations, and also you can give chat in the YouTube live is coming uh, as SUPHALA-BHARATHI. I once again thank you, one and all. Thank you very much. Good night.